The nation of Canada. Many of us, when we think of Canada, a few things come to mind, whether that be the Royal Mounted Police or hockey or the maple leaf. But there is much more to Canada than that. And a little background about Canada. Until 1931, it was controlled by the British Empire. Still, technically, it is part of the British Empire, but it is something known as a self-governing, meaning they govern themselves. They control themselves now. And it has been this way again since 1931. It has a population of 31 million people. That's about 1/10 the population of the United States. Even though they have the second largest land mass or land area in the world, they only have a population of 31 million people. Life expectancies: males 76, females 81. Okay, as you can see from the image that is up on the screen, it is a very large area that is encompassed within the nation of Canada, and it is divided into areas known as provinces and territories. The southern portion of that map, from British Columbia to Alberta to Saskatchewan, Manitoba, Ontario, Quebec, all the way over to Newfoundland, Prince Edward Island, Nova Scotia, those are all what are known as provinces. Those are very similar to states. There are 10 of them. To the north, there are 3: Yukon Territory, the Northwest Territories, and Nunavut. Because of a variety of reasons. One, because not many people live up there, and two, because of the lot of traditional tribal groups live there, and just because of its proximity, of how far away it is, it's very limited. The Canadian government does not control it as much as the provinces. Continuing, you probably recognize that picture of Sidney Crosby. And if you watched any of the 2010 Olympics in Vancouver, you quickly realized that in Canada they speak 2 languages, French and English. If, again, at the Olympics they sang the national anthem both in French and English in Canada. National sports, 2 of them: hockey, that's the very commonly known one, and we also have curling, which, again, if you've watched the Olympics, you probably noticed curling on the television. Okay, national industries. Tourism. A lot of people visit some major tourist attractions, whether that be Niagara Falls, Toronto, Montreal, Quebec, Vancouver. There are a lot of cities that people want to visit. Mining. That industry is also very big. But perhaps the largest is the forestry or timber industry. Fishing is also a very big industry in the Atlantic side of things. What's interesting, and I actually was just reading a magazine tonight about this, Canada exports more raw materials than any other nation in the world. So they have a very large area and a very small population. They are known for their exports of raw materials. Okay, some current issues. You may recognize the fleur-de-lis, which is a symbol of an area known as Quebec. Quebec, 4 out of 5 people speak French, and many people in Quebec have thought about separating from Canada to form their own nation. So this is an issue in the nation of Canada. Why would they want to do this? Well, think of it this way. In Ohio, people speak English, but let's just say for a minute in Ohio, most of the people in Ohio spoke Portuguese, but everybody else in the United States spoke English. So obviously, right off the back, people living in Ohio would feel a lot different than people living around them. Okay, one last thing about the Canadian border. They share a 4,000-mile border with the United States, and this is the world's longest unfortified border, meaning there are no troops stationed along this border. If you ever travel between them, you probably notice that the highways have areas that you have to drive through, custom areas, but there are no troops stationed along the borders.